Well guys, welcome back once again to another video. I am going back to Vancouver later today. So we're trying to fit in a location called Cumberland Potholes. Adam wants to show us this area. Well, this location's really popular for mountain biking, so I haven't been here before. Looking forward to seeing what we can find here. So I've met up with Adam. He had to go back for this camera. He forgot his camera, didn't he? And we'll just see what it's like up there. Adam said if there's too much water it might not be that great. It's a bit overcast, which will probably work in our favour.
Well, that's a trail, mountain bike trail.
Mountain bike trail called Mama Bear. Do you want to rest? So we've made it here to Cumberland Potholes. Now, it looks amazing, it really does. All the textures and the rocks, we've got the river running through it. But Adam said there's just a bit too much water, but we're still gonna stick it out and see what we can come up with. The centre of these falls isn't too bad, but at the bottom there's a lot of interest there, but there is a bit too much water. So it is rather noisy down here now. It's a bit of a climb down, so I had to watch what I was doing when I was climbing down here. The main reason is your heavy backpack, but I've made it down here. It looks amazing in this centre area here. You've got the falls coming down. There's lots of interest with those shapes in the rocks which have been formed with the water, the flow of the water coming down this river here. So I'm focusing my attention on the centre of these rapids for the time being. I love the way you've got the main flow of water coming in from the left hand side in the centre over to the right, and then you've got the pool of water and then it goes off from right to left, so there's some nice flow in there. And I've managed to surround it with a lot of those rock formations, and it's just working out well as an abstract image. I'm using 135mm first. I want to utilise that while I've still got it on the camera. So this is going to be my first image, 0.4 of a second. That's working really well. It's retaining some of the textures in the water. Like I've just said, 135mm. Now I have put a polarizer on. No need for an ND. We've got some nice weather today, nice overcast skies. Try not to overly use that polarizer. I want to keep some of the highlights in there so you get that nice sheen on the rock, and we'll see how it works out. We've just got a small area. We've got a bridge further up. From the bridge up to the point where I'm at here, you've got all these interesting textured rock along with the falls coming down. And I want to capture that motion going across the top. This area here, we've got the water obviously leading from left to right. But because of the formations under the water, it really creates some interest as you move across the frame to the right hand side. So it's just going to be another simple image, really showing off this area, the formations of the rocks, the flowing water. There's plenty of colour in there. We've had some rainfall, so there's a lot of moisture on top of the rocks that's out in the open. So you can really utilise everything and come away with some interesting images. That's what today's about. It's about slowing down, enjoy the moment, and just enjoy the day. you'll be able to see how I've been varying my shots. I'm trying to utilise this area as much as I can. Now the image I've came across here, I'm just wanting to photograph the textured rock without any of the water. Now this is where the polarizer is really gonna, it's gonna pay dividends for this shot, because I've got a pool of water casting some reflections in there, so I want to get rid of those reflections completely and just show that colour, shooting it with the 135mm again. And I am going to focus stack this one because it is quite deep, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to move about at different angles, different heights, and trying to figure out and work out what works the best. This is the area that we're working with. It's pretty flat up above here, but as you get towards the centre, it becomes a lot more interesting. I was working down below before with the 135mm, and I was pleased with the images that I captured, but I decided I wanted to swap out for the 35 and work with this little area here. We've got a crevice that runs through down this fall. The details in the formations and the rocks around the edge is really interesting. So what I'm wanting to capture, I want to capture that movement going through the centre. I have put the ND8 on, it is getting a bit brighter. I'm getting 0.8 of a second. That's ideal shutter speed for what I'm after. I always try and hover around that shutter speed when I'm photographing the water, because retaining some of that detail really is important before it becomes too mushy. So I'm going to work with this area, see what else I can come up with. But what a wonderful way to spend the morning. Now we're getting quite engrossed photographing those formations. I hope you enjoyed the images. I actually forgot that we've got to start making tracks because I've got to head back to the ferry to Vancouver. So I've made my way out of there. I came across Mr. Gibbs' photographing some trillium. We had a short day out today photographing Cumberland Potholes, so it's been fantastic. So as always, don't forget, give the video a thumbs up, it's much appreciated, helps with the algorithm. Hope to see you again for another video soon. But from me and Adam and Cumberland Potholes, thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Let me give you a noogie.